So like, there's so, it was like, we went through there and she heard us like, one more button, like 18 minutes. We finished, the first time, 20 minutes. We're like, wow, it's like, God, they have a whole cool bar.
Yeah.
Do that, that was great, and then we just sat down and just like, let's give some time to chat, because we're watching people, you know, that was kind of fun. It was the other side, and I was like, all right, then, yeah. I can't wait to get my grandkids there, you know?
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, well, glad to hear. Glad to hear.
Yeah. How are you? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's. I'll take a bunch of that.
One second, so.
We're doing the date thing when you draw a letter, and that's the first thing we do. We've got to figure out what to do. We got putt, and we were making pasta on dinner. But we get that so early, we pasta that early, so we can stop by and do for me on the rail. You read about there now? Phenomenal.
Okay.
Great, so like. You know, like pee, but we'll just your beer, and then the guy comes over and introduces himself and says, "Hey, bro,
Oh, well.
you gotta stand right here.
Hi, Josh.
Go ahead and give me another beer, and get margaritas, floor, you know, drinks are great, ice are great." It was definitely worth going on with.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun day time. That was a very fun day time. Thanks for asking.
Good morning, Carrie. Howdy, howdy.
I have to turn that music down so you can talk. Call me later. I want to talk to you. I want to see, how's everything? How's the house? How's Minnesota? Sorry about this. I try to get this done before people log on so that you don't see me trying to get this camera, but you get the pleasure. Oh, was had it. I think that'll be good. I think that should be good. Hey, good morning.
Well, how are you? Good. Well, hey, how you doing? Good, yeah. Doing great.
Oh, there. I know, buying biscuit? Yeah, all that. I saw the lady leaving. Did you get one of these, Buster?
I did, back at David, but yes.
Yeah. Well, it was great. And then one of my buyers, I wrote up 2 separate offers. And she decided that she needed to save money for a little longer. And I'm like, Erica, like, this was supposed to be a slam dunk. It was so tragic. And I feel like I've been having that problem with almost all of my clients, where they're just like, all right, and then they're like, let's pump the brake. Everything I want. Like, can we please get someone under contract?
Brian, how was it?
Morning, lovely people. How you doing? I
Good.
forever. I forgot we say that.
We were in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, we were, okay.
Nope.
It looked fine.
Yeah, we had a blast. Aw,
Hello?
Yeah, you guys do a great job, I'm just saying.
thank you. We had.
Get my heritage today, so getting ready for Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
If I need traffic there, I need to look the part.
Oh my God, I had a lot of sugar before I could work.
What'd you have, donut?
I had like 2 bites of the bear apple.
Yeah.
Sausage.
So it's, I have been a tubby all weekend long.
Yeah, I'm doing fat February, so. But March, I like-
I'm actually doing back February too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it, but I am.
And I'm just like, I'm enjoying myself, whatever, March 4th, it's all over.
Well, I figured, you know what, this is when my drinking starts back, so I just kind of just been like splurging on foods here. We went last night, we were still hungry after dinner, so we went to the grocery store and bought like a whole bunch of snacks and just like sat in bed and watched a movie and ate snacks.
See?
Grab a drink. Oh, wow. Try 4 months.
I don't, yeah, no, I only use 1 a week, but I do enjoy my movie.
Oh, well, we drank a lot more than that.
Yeah, I know.
We went pro early. So we may retire. We did lose unhealthy to a level which.
Another brain breath.
Yes, I knew that.
What up?
Hey, girls. What is
Good. You put the home inspector guy that makes all the good.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Thought my bag felt like.
So we check out which one to stay on.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually said.
How are you? I'm well, how about you?
Right.
Yeah, how are you?
Oh, my God, I want one so bad. It's so bad all weekend.
Well, you might want to do the bad.
And gotta behave.
That 3.5 million, probably, kind of the
Oh, that time of year.
I'm ready, it's fine.
You and me both. I got all the gold that I need for the rest.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is all depends on them, like, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Repass these out
I'm so happy.
in 2 weeks, Renee.
What?
With the repass these out in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not for work, but they're gonna need it, you know, and I make that cost. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cheap. It's not, let me tell you. No, it's really cool. You are. I'm gonna call and say, hey, lady.
Exactly.
I don't know the address.
Oh, the address, right there. now.
It's right there by the CMC, you know.
Yeah.
Don't be helping me.
Right there, right next to the school.
Hello. Yeah, you're still. We're all on a voice moment. I'm not gonna see you here.
Thank you for breakfast.
Yeah. Oh. Dance party time?
So many.
Mr. Brian, are you down here all the time?
I'm here every Tuesday. Yeah.
Kimberly. Thank you. We're still seeing each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Cooled out today, what's it, winter break?
You get us old. They know better.
I don't know. I'll leave one, I bet you. Oh,
Yes, you did.
okay. David, no.
No one can.
Yes, you did. Turn it on.
Love
Oh,
that.
I thought you were talking to me.
Hey, I'll be down there, give me a dog.
Fair amount.
You gotta be on the team.
Got your reps in.
Good morning.
Yeah, they are.
Are you interested in participating in the Mickey Martin? I'm so different. I'm gonna like,
I know, right?
yeah, good time. I know. Better down there. I like it, yeah, right, it's very nice, I've been over there in the order, man, got it, like, right out there, like, that. And Ariana.
Yeah.
Mostly realtors, but then work out with her, and then you're trying to get more like. No, well. Yeah. It was a little bit about it.
Right.
It's really good.
No,
How are you?
Oh, no, no. I'm the guy who's kidding, I don't know.
Thank you.
Just say it, okay, like, not that way, is that what you got? And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth. Yeah, it's worth it.
Very big.
Right. Because one of my, kind
See, I'm talking about a dream. God pass me by if so let me.
No, you did.
I'm not talking about it. Yeah, right up here. I'll be, I mean.
I know. You
Figure out if they want to show you their sister. And I thought, you do that, yeah, it might be a waste of life. I think, yeah, and I just, it's like, they're even, you're taking the price. Yeah, they wanted to be higher. Maybe, that's right down. Well.
No, they're not. A lot of people. Oh, yeah. We got a lot. I know, I was like, oh, I feel like that house. My spouse is that they're not gonna handle it, and they didn't have, they had applications. Oh my gosh. We tried
It looks like our complete,
Are you not like voting stuff?
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Oh, it is like 9:30 on the dot. Yeah. I just looked up and I thought. All right, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. And we have a fantastic breakfast today. I mean, it's fantastic. Who would like to talk about our breakfast, our sponsors? Sure.
Morning, everybody. So I'm Kimberly, this is Gina. We're with Legacy Leverage. And along with Melba, we sponsored your breakfast this morning from Flying Biscuit at Sarah's Donuts. So please, help yourself and go back in seconds. It's there. Legacy Leverage is a contract to close listing management company. So you all have flyers that give you a little bit there. And then these brochures will leave here for you if you want to read them. They just tell a little bit more about what we do in detail. But basically, it's anything listing from the time you take the listing through post-closing. So we will help you with your listing management as far as setting up the listing in the MLS. We will do tracking your property disclosures, making sure they get uploaded to the MLS along with the ABADs as a package so that when they show up, when the co-op agent downloads those, they have everything in one package and they don't tend to miss that ABAD as much. So we'll do that. We'll help you track it right on through. Once you go to under contract, we'll take it from there, send the emails out to everybody, introducing ourselves and get everything out to the attorney and the lender, start tracking dates, deadlines, and just keep moving right on through the post-closing process. So that is essentially what we do. Does anybody have any questions about any of that?
No, can I just say something? I had a issue this week regarding an agent who was telling me she did not get a listing. And she was asking me some questions about it. And she said the person that got the listing was because they had basically a team. Well, folks, if you have a team. It's called Onward. It's called O'Kelly and Sorahan. You also have a team in Michael Gray. Also, if you hire them, and the beautiful part, what I want to tell you, is it's owned by Andy Peters and Aubrey Bailey, as well as myself. So we own this, but they have leverage because they have a broker that helps them with things. So what the point is that you would have a personal assistant. They don't know that they're part-time, do they? Exactly. So you can say, I have a personal assistant, which is part of your team. Now, what's also, you don't have to hire them forever. You might hire them for one deal. Or you might not hire them today, but next month you end up getting 3 listings and you're overwhelmed. So you could hire them then. So the point is they can either do one or they can do several, but they're here for you. And because they are so in tune with what goes on in command, what is required under the law, what is required under compliance, they make you look good no matter what you do. And so I highly recommend, they're very inexpensive and they cover you. So we wanted to roll this out here. We've been in other offices for a while. And we wanted to roll it out here and say, we're here for you. We want to help you grow your business. And by you having this administrative cover, whether you just want to just upload my listing, they would just do that. Or whatever you want them to do, they're here for you to help you look great at what you do and not miss any deadlines and for your paperwork to be perfect. So I just wanted to add that to it. It's called Legacy Leverage. You've got the information in front of you and we encourage you. Is there another little tidbit you want to tell them?
Well, just to add on to that, when you were talking about things that we can do for you, one of the big things my agents like is when they need an amendment to extend closing or an amendment for compliance. Gina and I can both, we're both licensed, we can both help with that. If there's a question, we have Melba on speed dial, so we text Melba and say, how does this need to be worded? What should we do? So
And that's for you.
right, so it does come with a lot of, time saving things for you guys. Yes.
Do I get help with my personal assistant if I use like?
I'm promising Melba.
There's another little thing I wanted you
Somebody
to.
else think I know.
No, that little call.
I have this. So everybody has, a little note card on your table. You don't have to be wired. There's $100 discount through the end of the month. Actually, and this card says through the end of March. So any contract to close work that we start now, you will get a $100 discount. So just the QR code that is here on the little card or on the back of the credit card.
I think it's interesting that Kim, turn the card over, Mike. See that little big QR code? It works.
The little tiny one on the computer screen does work. Thanks to Diane and Deborah for printing for me.
We always test them, we always
We
test.
test them, they help me test. But yeah, if you want to just click this, it'll allow you to ask for more information, if you want pricing, if you want to schedule a time to just talk with one of us about how we can help you individually, how we can brand to you, any of those kind of things. There's a checklist there that you can just log in and let us know, how to contact you, when's the best time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I would say, when I was in production, I did call Kimberly many times. She did help me quite a bit, so I will personally vouch for them. They are fantastic. And, many times she called me when it wasn't even part of what she was doing. Not that I wanna, let everybody do that. However, she's super, super helpful. So they are super helpful and they get it. And it allows you to do what you need to do at a higher level, right? So you can work with your 20%. So that's really, really good. Great news. So thank you for that. Okay, give me some gratitude and or yes, sir.
Yeah, my company, Home Food Specialists, went from being among the best in 2022 to best in that.
Wow.
Thank you everyone who supported us and, thank you.
And tell us again who you are and what you do.
Home Food Inspection Services, we're a full service home inspection.
There you go. Love it. Nice. Congratulations. Who else had either a chat north effect moment or gratitude?
Want to give a shout out to Matt. One of my buyers foolishly used another lender. And the day after the financing contingency ended, they denied the loan. Matt stepped in, and saved the loan. And I don't want to say how many days he did because I don't want other people getting bad ideas, but he closed quickly. And made a very stressful situation with a happy ending. So.
Yeah, next time. Other agent, and wasn't that the one I talked to the other agent on? And I think so. Was that the one that yeah, that's the one I talked to the other agent, and she was great as well. The co-op agent was fantastic, and because of that great relationship with Matt, was able to keep everything together as well as the other Matt. So great job, good teamwork. All right, who else?
Probably another one for Stephen. I had some clients who were tight on money and didn't have any money to really do like the inspection or appraisal and such. And they had full closing costs, but the thing is they couldn't afford the inspection ahead of time. And Stephen had a program where he could do it pay at close, which was super amazing for us to do. And yeah, that made the deal possible for them. It was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love the answer, yes, how. Right? It's yes, how. It's not, I don't think we can do that. It's yes, let's figure out how we can do it. So that's a great example of that, right? Okay, who else? One, maybe two more. Maybe not.
I'm really grateful. I just got back from a fun trip with one of my nephews who's in town and my husband and some friends. We went skiing up in Gatlinburg. I'm just really grateful.
There was snow in Gatlinburg.
Yes, and it did snow a little bit, but they made snow for us. You know. But very grateful. Yeah. It's a wonderful.
Love it, love it. All right, one more. I know you're thankful for something.
Maybe me?
Yes.
I'm new to real estate.
Yes.
I meet everybody and get to know everybody. I love my personality, and I hope it'll come out the way I want it to.
And tell us your name.
My name is Denisa.
Denisa. Great, we're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we did that and we're ready for some trivia. I know you guys are so excited about that. Oh, right. Okay, this one you might have to think a little bit. We're gonna give you a throwaway. There are 4 models that determine the MRA, multi-millionaire. Oh, we just said a multi-millionaire. The millionaire real estate agent, there are 4 models, which are easy peasy, right? We all know those. What are they?
Oh, come on. Okay, nice.
Really?
You know.
I do, but it's like, I can't say it like right on my head. I know my head.
Lead generation model. What's another one? Economic, what's another one? Budget, what's another one?
People.
We all go under when we are building our business, it's
Organizational model, okay, we're just gonna say it. Organizational model. Yeah.
We were putting our hair literally.
Like, just in case you don't know this, there's a
Yes.
hack, elbow.
Elbow, yes.
Elbow.
Oh,
Economic, lead generation, budget,
Thank you, Sam.
organization, and they're gonna screw it up and throw expansion on the end of it, so it's
Yeah,
LOE.
yeah. So those are the 4 models. Now, I'm gonna just throw one more in, and this is for the ultimate $100,000 buyer. Or if you wanna pay. Who can give me? Let's pick one. Let's see, which one should we get? What are the 3 things that need to be done under the lead gen model? According to the MRA book. Oh, even Sam's got a quizzical look.
Yeah.
Ooh, did I throw a curve? Yeah. But that's a great guess. Oh, Sam, you should know this one.
Database administrator.
Oh, you said one.
Database.
Database, absolutely. What's another one? That's part of database. Yep. Prospect, number 1, prospect, database. One more.
Who said prospect?
Joe.
Go. Market.
We all have to split it between.
Okay, you guys can double check me, it's on page 122. It's focused on seller listings. Okay, well, we got a curve here, but hey, you guys did way better than you thought, right? So the 3 under the lead gen model are gonna be database, lead gen, prospect, thank you, prospect and marketing, and then focus on listing. So that's something we always need to be doing, right? Under the lead gen model. So if we ever forget, oh, what am I supposed to be doing for lead gen today? Well, let's work on your database, right? Let's prospect and let's go find some sellers. And every morning, what should we be asking when it comes to finding seller business? What am I doing to get a seller appointment or to get a listing? And at the end of the day, audit that. What did I do to get a seller appointment or a list? Right? So that all ties into the lead. Okay, fine. Sorry, you guys are hurt. Okay.
Everybody's like, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Well, and at the bottom of that page, I highlighted, it says, don't just think like a business, become one. So if you are really intentional this year on running a business, we need to know the steps on, and that's why I went to this page. Because if we really wanna have a business, not just a JOB, not just a job, hey, I'm going to work today, I'm gonna go do my job. No, I'm actually running a business. I'm the CEO of my business. What do I need to do? Well, guess what? Page 122 of the MRA. There's your model, right there, plain and simple. Yes, there's many other elements in it, but plain and simple, 122, okay? All right. Okay,
Now our life partner.
our last partner.
Caitlin, where are you?
I'm just here.
Come on, come on. We want everybody at home to see all of this. We've got lots of people on Zoom who are
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
staring in this direction right here.
Hello, good morning. I am Kaylin Perkins. I'm with Refine Design Group. And I wanted to invite you guys all on February 29th. That's next Thursday at 1:30. We are going to be hosting a class on a topic that we get asked about a lot, and that is how to gain confidence on social media. It's called Corporate Confidence. We hope to see you guys all there. It's a bonus day, it's a big day. So yeah, so hope to see you there. That is. Awesome. Thank you.
Everybody can see that, like the awkward feeling of when this.
Oh, yeah,
you know, when
yeah.
you're on social
Yeah,
media
yeah.
and trying to get on there. But this is one of those great classes, you know, build that confidence.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Wait. Time and place.
1:30 here, correct? It's
Yeah,
yes, that's what I thought.
yep, and I've got a flyer for you and to remind everybody time and place. And I come up with a calendar as well. Yep.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Right, well, my name is Amy Smady. I'm an attorney with Michael and Gray.
I'm Emily Raymond, also with Michael and Gray.
And I just wanted to chat with y'all a little bit about the Fulton County security breach. I've had a couple of questions with Fulton County closings that have been coming up. So I just want to talk more about not what's happened with the county, but how it'll affect the closings. So this right here is an indemnity and full harmless agreement. Most of the title underwriters have something very similar, if not the exact wording, that says right here. Basically, a lot of the sites are down. So the biggest one is, of course, going to be the tax commissioner website. We cannot pull tax bills right now. So it is a little bit of a mess. But what we're going to do for Fulton County closings is we actually have to, if you're representing the seller, we've got to reach out to the seller, which, as you know, we don't normally have to do, asking for copies of the paid tax bill for 2023. So if you hear us asking for that and you're saying, that's not something my seller normally has to provide, that's why. We actually cannot pull it right now from the website because it's down. So that's going to be one thing. Another thing that's going to be a potential hiccup, I'm not saying that it cannot close, but if you have like an estate and there's probate that's being filed, if there's divorces, if there's any type of like civil litigation or anything that's with the closing, that could potentially delay it. Contact us, or really you would want to contact the closing attorney that's facilitating the closing. But just be aware of that. So if you hear people talking about Fulton County issues, that's really going to be where it's going to affect your closing, is if there's like an estate, a divorce, bankruptcies, any kind of things that we're not able to pull with our title exam that we would normally be able to pull. Big thing is that the tax credit. So just keep that in mind, and if you see this, that's what it is. It's basically just saying that there's nothing that's on the property that they have not disclosed to the closing attorney that would prevent us from closing the transaction. Y'all have questions on that?
How long do they think it'll be down?
They haven't given us timelines to my knowledge. It's been down for a couple of weeks at this point, though.
Really?
Yeah,
This is for both commercial and residential.
it's for all properties, anything in Fulton County.
I had one yesterday come up where they also had to ask for Fulton County water bill from the seller.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, water bill is another thing. All right, I just want to make sure y'all are aware. If you have specifics, really the closing attorney facilitating the closing is gonna be the best one to answer that. But if you have questions that I'm able to answer, you can of course ask me to. I just wanted to make sure y'all weren't surprised about that with Fulton County properties right now.
And then upcoming events.
Tomorrow, right here in this room, Amy's gonna be teaching an awesome class from 10 to 11 called Leads Through Death and Divorce. So kind of how to leverage those contacts, that network of probate attorneys, divorce attorneys, estate planning attorneys, things like that. So you can join us for that. And then for those who are going to family reunion, we're doing a happy hour on the 28th. That's next Wednesday, or yeah, this week from this next Wednesday. From 5 to 7 at Southern Heritage Golf Club. It's a little bit off the strip, so we're gonna have a shuttle service picking up at Mandalay Bay, which most of y'all should be staying there. If not, that'll be the pickup and drop off point. So that's what's coming up. We hope to see you at one or both of those events.
And we're looking forward to closing with y'all. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
morning. How's everyone doing? That sounds good. Hey, we have the fabulous Renee here. Give her a round of applause.
Always nice to meet you. All right, well, I will start. Good morning, everybody. With a rate update. So rates have pushed upwards a little bit. You might have noticed last week they're up at about 7.1. Basically, we've had some hotter than expected inflation data come in. So most of that is CPI data. The markets reacted to that as usual. But there's a little bit of good news. Well, the markets are a little bit disappointed that we kind of know that we're not going to see a Fed rate cut as soon as we hoped. Some people were hoping for March. That was kind of the consensus at the beginning of the year. We know that's really not going to happen unless something drastic changes. So it's really pushing out closer to May or June is the expectation at this point. Still going to happen, but we're going to be sitting up in these, the higher rates a little bit longer than we hoped. However, the Chicago Fed President, Austin Goolsbee, did calm the markets a little bit at the end of last week with some comments saying, yes, the CPI inflation did come in hotter than we expected. However, that's not really what the Fed is focusing on as much. They look more at the PC data. So CPI is a little higher, but the PCE is actually trending lower than that. So that's good news. And that's really what they're watching more of. So while the markets are reacting over here, they're really kind of watching what's over here. With all of that said, the expectation there is, he was saying that the Fed isn't necessarily waiting for the 2% goal to happen before they start cutting. And they kind of expected that there will be some months of higher CPI showing. So none of this is a big surprise to them. I think maybe the markets were originally a little bit more excited than they should have been, thinking we cut earlier. The Fed is kind of right along with what they've sort of been saying. So anyways, we always see that the rates, how the market reacts is what the rates are doing. So right now, they've pushed up a little because the markets are realizing we're not probably going to see a cut in March. It'll be a little bit later. So that's kind of where they are and why. So if you have questions, let us know. But there you go.
Awesome. I love not being the person to get bad. Here, take that ball. Want to talk about condos real quick. So I think a lot of people probably heard there's been a lot of commotion about condominiums. Fannie and Freddie have changed their requirements on what they're looking at and gotten a little more strict. So can anyone tell me what the special STIP is that we have suggested and Melba suggests? Melba, you can't answer and the attorneys can't answer. Special STIP number. Close. The right number is just different. Yeah. I don't know. I know with the special STIP 528.
Oh,
Okay. So this is basically what this STIP does is it gives coverage to your buyer outside of just the standard financing contingency. So a lot of time, our plan is to have a client who's pre-underwritten, and then let's say they're looking at townhouses, they flip over to a condominium. We know their finances are good, their income's there, credit, assets, but we never know if that condominium is going to be fully approved. So that special STIP is extremely important right now to give your buyer coverage outside of that financing contingency. We normally explain that to the listing agent to make sure they realize, hey, we're good on finances. We're just giving coverage to your client. We normally ask for about 10 to 15 days on that. One thing that we're also doing, the main problems are coming from the master insurance policy from the HOA. That's what's changed with Fannie and Freddie. they've got a requirement of a 5% max deductible of all of their coverage, and that's where there's a ton of big time HOAs and condominium complexes that have deductibles higher than that. So we're getting, asking our buyer's agent to listen to, hey, provide us the master's insurance policy, we'll get it to our condo team immediately, let them review it, and then we basically know if there's gonna be a problem, so. That's all I've got on condos. One other thing I wanted to touch base on,
So, if it's higher than 5%,
yes,
is it, you can't get conventional or financing?
so there's times that you can get FHA and do a spot.
So it's basically FHA or cash investor?
Yes, yeah, or.
Or none.
Yeah, or we have to flip over non-QM, do smart series where, the rate's gonna be not as attractive, about point higher.
And a higher down.
And you used to be able to kind of combine the buyer's insurance, their personal policy with the master policy of the HOA, make it work that way. And now the changes that Fannie and Freddie have ultimately stopped that. That's where the big problem is.
Devaluing those condo units.
Yeah, personally, I think Fannie and Freddie are gonna have to make an adjustment. I think there's a lot of complexes that are running into this problem. There's gotta be an adjustment made.
Matt, let's add on to that.
Yeah,
If the condo is FHA approved and you're doing an FHA loan, then you don't have to worry about that still because it's already built into the FHA.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
So you guys are mindful.
Same with VA.
Thank you. Last thing I want to talk about, so how much is a standard appraisal? So if you're doing a 14-day, 10-day appraisal, any idea what the cost is?
500.
525 to 575. If we're in Metro Atlanta, how much do you think the rush fee is to turn around an appraisal within 3 days? What would you expect? So anywhere from $100 to $150. $150 max to put your client in a position where we're shortening that appraisal contingency, getting it within due diligence, or just having a very short appraisal contingency, it's worth it. I would suggest if you're using us, we can get that appraisal rush. We've done it in 48 hours, 72 hours, even turned it in a day. So just keep that in mind. Contact us before you're putting in your offers.
As far as standing up here to sell, so I need to laugh. Okay, here are the events for the week, for the month of March. So on March 8th, if you have a birthday in February, March, please join us for birthday lunch at Marlowe's. I'll be posting that soon. Erin's teaching her monthly mortgage matters class on the 11th at 10. One of my fan favorites is back in March, happy hour on the 14th at Stage. So if you've not been there, you really need to mark it on your calendar, 5 to 7. We have 5 wonderful vendors supporting this so that you can eat, drink, and be merry. It will be close to St. Patrick's Day, wear your green, not get pinched. And 3/18, we have coffee talk. So that is it. I'm excited to see you guys. Also, if you have not signed up for HomeBot yet, please make sure you come and see me. We have had 2 listings now. 2 people get listings at HomeBot. It is a set it and forget it. So if you haven't done it, let me help you and I'll show you the website. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
What I love about it, there's no lacking for opportunity to learn, to grow, and to socialize, right? So, all of the grades. Of course, let's not forget Oak Insurance, Tessa and Kelly with 2-10 home warranties are always by our side to help us with those things. I'm sorry, I forgot something. See, I'm so out of practice. Absolutely. You'll see that you have Agent Caravan coming up on March 5th. We brought it out today because we know there might not be too many people with a regular family reunion next week. We're doing Nukes, it's very close. It says it's Swanee, but it's actually John Street. So it's very close to here. So Carol and Mari, that we're sponsoring. No, it's a great way to know the inventory. So back in the day when I had started, caravans were the thing.
Yeah.
Every day, and that's how we got free lunch. And that's how you networked with other co-op agents, and that's how you really got to know the inventory.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm gonna be coming back a little, so.
When I first got into real estate, we all got into a band. Everybody in the office.
Literally a pair of bands.
That we would rent and we would go from house to house to house and get our
Yeah.
snack and our lunch. But it was a great way to know.
Yep.
Yeah, and for those in chat, I'm putting in the address in the chat box.
All right, Sam, come up and get us a tip.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, so you'll notice that I am without my better half. So, but I need your help with that. So Lucy's dad is unfortunately in the hospital this morning. He has the flu. I think he's gonna be okay. He's just kind of severely dehydrated. But I love Lucy. You know that like I would be lost without her. Can I ask you, Chamber, can we all right now, like, we just text her and say how much she needs to us because she is able to. And I think she can use words of encouragement whenever you're going through something tough like that, so I greatly appreciate that. And then I'll be brief today, this is the really awkward week inside of the tech world of KW. We're going into family reunion and they just sandbag all of the tech releases that we come back from family reunion. So I'm not anything too terribly exciting, except for the fact that if you want to follow me around all day tomorrow, I have 2 really cool, exciting Zoom classes going on. From 11 to 12, I'll be featured on this national mastermind group in which I'll be leading an AI conversation. So if you want to have a fun little game and education on AI, I'll be leading that tomorrow from 11 to 12. And then immediately right after that, at 12 o'clock to 1, I'll be participating on like Andy's program, which is the Level Up, in which I'll be going over the Golden Text workshop. So if you want to come learn about AI and then immediately go start texting people, which feels like we're just not becoming humans. Join me for that fun little day. I'll make sure it's fun and it's entertaining. You get me for 2 hours, so that's all I got.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah. If it should be, if not, I know the Level Up one is, I'll post both of them on my Facebook and stuff to groups. So yeah, we'll go. Yeah. Cool. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, Melvin. Give us your wisdom.
No, it's wisdom, but I'll do my best. How about that? I go to every team meeting for Georgia Legacy Group, and each one I go to, I sort of sing the same song for that month, so that all of Georgia Legacy Group will hear sort of the same thing. And so this month, I am bringing something I really don't like to talk about because I don't advocate you doing it. Everybody understand what I just said? I'm not out there saying this is what you should be doing. I'm glad you do it, but we're having a lot of issues with it. So it behooves us to be able to be aware of it. We are in the real estate business and we hope that you will list and sell property. However, there are some times when you actually lease a property where you represent the landlord or you represent the tenant. Again, that's not, we don't get paid a lot of money and we don't encourage you to go out and do a whole lot of it, but we're all going to do it at one time or another, right? Well, I think because we don't do it very often, we don't realize the things that we need to have guidelines for, and we're stepping in a lot of issues lately, and it seems like I've been overwhelmed with it. So when you represent a landlord, you list his property in the multiple listing service for lease. Everybody good? When the person who leases it, or it be you are just a conduit, basically. You represent the landlord. You will carry the lease to the landlord and the landlord makes a decision. I've had calls. Melvin, can you help me with service animals? Why? Well, stop. You don't help the seller or the landlord try to decide those things. It makes sense? That is his decision, not yours. Everybody got it? All right, good. But we're having some issues. Let's say that the tenant or the landlord wants to do a credit report. You do not do the credit report for the seller. And you say, well, I don't. I just order it and it comes to me and I don't look at it and I forward it. Everybody get that? It came to you. I didn't look at it, but who did? Now let me say this. When you order a credit report, it is for, you got it, right? Well, aren't we glad that the person that receives it can't send it out to 10 other people? I get this. When the landlord should order the credit report. You should not be ordering it, no matter if you don't look at it. Because heaven help us if you can order a credit report and then when you get it, you can give it to 5 other people. It's not the way it works. Everybody got it? So I do know there's a place you can help the tenant order it, which is fine, but you put their email. Does everybody get it? You don't need to be involved in that. You don't need to smell it, touch it, have anything to do with it. Make sense? And then the biggest one. is killing me, is that you cannot, who holds the security deposit on when you lease it? The landlord, right? This is not hard, right? This is the one we're having a lot of issues with, and they're coming back to me a year later. And that is this, you do not do the walkthrough. You don't do the walkthrough. You don't do the walkthrough. You do not do the walkthrough. Are you gonna do the walkout? No. What are these related to? The security deposit, am I right? So you should not be having anything to do with the walkthrough. Everybody got it? We are having so many issues where you want to be nice, right? Just your nature. And you do the walkthrough for the landlord. No, you should not be doing that at all for somebody else. Does everybody understand this? We're having rampant issues with this today because you just didn't think. But when the tenant moves out, who should be doing the walkout? Landlord. And it should match the walk. Everybody got it? You don't even need to attend it for that matter.
That was gonna be my question. Should we, as the leasing, as the agent helping, when we just want to be so helpful?
What are you gonna do when you go? Stand at the door? Well, I would suggest not going. When you go, you're gonna talk, say something. I wouldn't go.
Would we still provide the move in, move out?
You're welcome to give them the move in and move out,
Okay.
but I don't know why you would go. I can't give any justification for it. It doesn't even being helpful. Because being helpful gets you in trouble. You only represented the landlord to get a lease and you did that. Everybody got it? Once it's signed, sealed, you're done. You should not be doing walkthrough. And I wouldn't go if it were me. If you can go and, I can't go and be quiet. You laugh. You laugh.
Does the holding of the security deposit change if it is an agent owned property?
I'm not talking about that right now. I gotta keep everybody on the right page.
So
Everybody got what I said? Now I'm gonna talk about what he said, but right now I'm talking about you leasing property in the multiple listing service. Also, now listen, I'm gonna do that one in a minute, but right now we're talking about you representing a client. Everybody got it? So now you represent the tenant. Everybody got it? All the same things apply that I just said. So you represent a tenant and you find a property. Well, when he fills out the lease, you don't make a decision, you give it to the landlord, right, or the other agent. And again, you don't do the walkthrough to be nice. Everybody got it? We're good? We're having a lot, I know everybody in here must know it, but we're having a lot of issues with it. What Brian asked me, obviously, if you own property, we're talking about totally different things, right? Everybody got it? We're not talking about representing a landlord or a tenant, but if you own it, we're talking about something different. If you own rental property, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but if you own rental property, yes, the office does hold a security deposit. And you should be jumping up and down. When we changed our policy about 11 years ago to do that, agents were delighted. They said, oh my God, I'm so excited that you're doing that because I don't have to worry about it. Because the real estate commission says you got to audit your books and guess who's ultimately responsible? The brokerage. So you had to send us copies every month of you doing it. Now, keep in mind, we're the holder, right? The bank could be the holder, right? So if your bank held it, when you want to get it out, does the bank question why? Hello, wake up. They do not. When you get money out of the bank, next to secure, got it. I know you were. Okay, everybody got it? So when we hold it, we are only the holder. Everybody got it? That's all we are. If you come in 3 months later and want to get it out, that's your business. You're the one that's going to be ultimately responsible because you have a real estate license with the real estate commission and with that tenant. Everybody got it? We're just a holder, just like a bank. You wouldn't put it in the bank. Then you got to give us a report all the time. We found out you sending us a report, an audit was a pain in la. So you now love the fact that we do it for you because now you don't have to have any worries about keeping records. And we have a great record system of keeping those deposits. Everybody got it? So it's to your benefit that we hold it because now you don't have to be responsible for giving an audit every month. Everybody got it? We do it for you. We got it. We don't need you to take that anytime you want. So we're just like a holder, just like a bank. Good with that? Thanks for your question. Okay, good. Now, in our office policy, we have never, and I don't know a lot of companies that do, because the liability is just so great. And there's admissions insurance is astronomical, but it's regarding, we do not allow our agents to, manage other people's rental property. Obviously, you can manage your own, hello, but to manage other people's property, we do not. The liability is just too great. Our office policy has always said that. And always will. We do have, somebody, I don't know, might be somebody here, but we have somebody in North Fulton that he has a, oh my God, are you doing pictures? He's got a camera back there with a long lens. I don't know what I do. Anyway, bottom line is that, I don't even know what I was talking about, no, I didn't. Bottom line is that he has a company, and the only way you can manage rental property is he has a broker's license, and he went to the real estate commission and opened up a new firm. When he did that, it was for property management, and he had to get approval, because if you know the law says you can't have one company without getting approval with the other one. So you would have to come to Keller Williams. I do give him kudos, because our policy that we have with him is, yes, you can have another company advantage, but any sales or listings have to go through Keller Williams. So even if his brother, sister, even when they listed their house, it has to go through Keller Williams. And I give him kudos because he's abides by the rules at a high level and does a good job.
Hold on, that's the photo I want.
So,
Yeah, there we go. Oh.
This ain't right. Help me, Lord. So back to, I tried to do a short thing and this has gone off track and I apologize. Back to what I wanted to say about that is that during Chartmasters, Andy introduced a company. I don't know if they have it up or not, but it's called TCS Management.
I've got a QR code.
You even got a QR code. TCS Management is a company that does managing rental properties at a very, very high level. And Andy introduced those to all of you at the Chartmasters. And I wanted to also bring that to you because when you do lease a property for lease for someone and they say, can you manage it? And I say, no, I do not do that, but I do have a great company that does property management at a high level. Now, the reason this is good to have in your arsenal is that investor might have properties in Alabama, maybe even in New York or Atlanta. And this property management group does properties all over the United States. So what a good company to have in your arsenal if your investor has rental properties in multiple states. So Andy brought this to our attention. It is in a partnership we have, and I encourage you to know about them. And if you have somebody, a tenant, a landlord that wants to have property management, you want to give them a name, this would be an ideal suggestion. I do have somebody, let me give you their information, and this is the information about TC Management, Property Management Group. Any questions regarding leases? It's not something I advocate us go out and do it, but it has gotten us in a little trouble. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I love Melba. She always keeps it real, right?
I thought that was.
I live in my head.
Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about, something that I think is gonna help us. We've talked a lot about buyer agency and all of these lawsuit discussions has been happening that now has been settled, which is so great, and adding value to our buyer clients. And how many of us have a really, really, really strong value proposition that we feel very comfortable sharing with our buyer clients? Okay. Let me see some of these. Okay.
For my students that know me, this is a. For my students. Number one. Value, you have a lot of value. There's a ton, there's a list a mile long.
I would check it everybody.
You gotta pay it, because you've got to be able to, I said this to bless me, Lord, I say this everywhere I go. We have got to get a good buyer consultation. Thank you for bringing this up. You have a list of value for sellers, right? We need to have a list of value for buyers. We have got to get good at this. We got to articulate it. But one of the things besides 10 others I can give you is, I'm gonna protect Ernest money. When you say that, that means a litany of stuff because you gotta watch every deadline, you gotta pay attention to everything, and you're good. So my thing is, Mr. Buyer, one of my number one jobs besides all the other things I do is to protect your earnings.
Okay, let's write that down. So, yeah, so that is absolutely something we need to build as soon as possible. If we don't have a value, high level value proposition that we can comfortably articulate to our buyers and confidently articulate to our buyers, we need to get on that, right? Because that's what's in our conversation today. That's what this whole thing in the last, year plus has been about, is being able to say, this is why you should hire me, Mr. Buyer, or Mrs. Buyer, right? This is why it's the best use
And this
of
is why you should pay me.
This is why it's the best use of your money, to be able to hire me, to be able to get me.
I think even before protecting the earnest money, in today's competitive market, our value as a buyer's agent is to represent our clients in such a way that they get the contract.
Yeah,
They get the house.
Negotiate.
that they get the contract.
They get the house.
That's great.
Negotiating.
Negotiation contract. So make a list of the things that pop into the top of your mind in starting your value proposition, right? Make a list of what things that you know that you can do, and then start articulating them. We're gonna go over something that I think could help you in your little arsenal of value packet, and it's called the promise. Has anybody heard of the promise? Okay, how many of you have actually implemented it into your value proposition for sellers and buyers? You have? Okay, great. And you use it regularly, routinely on every appointment?
Usually just with listing appointments.
Okay, is there a reason why you don't use it with buyers?
I haven't really thought about it. Whoever taught the class, they do something, but I haven't thought about using it for our presentation.
Okay, could we see that there could be huge value in using it with buyers as well? Yeah, especially when we're able to say, this is why, this is my promise to you as your fiduciary, to be able to work with you all the way to closing and beyond, right? So this is why this conversation is important. So we're gonna kind of build it out. And I wish I had a whiteboard. I've complained to Carrie so many times, I'm like, I need a whiteboard.
I'll be Vanna.
She's gonna be Vanna for us. So I know a lot of you have gone to a promise class, which is great. And if you haven't, that's great too. We're gonna start kind of from scratch. Oh yeah, we don't want to write down somebody's start. Okay. We want, number one is we want to make sure that we know what those first things are that we can build into it, right? What things pop into our mind to be able to say, this is why my value is to my buyer client. What are the things that I can think of that are gonna pop up that I can create that value proposition, right? Do we want to just throw some more value that you said?
We said
Earnest money protection. What did you say again?
Negotiate so they get the contract.
Negotiation. Another one.
This kind of hand in hand with that, but knowing how to navigate multiple offers.
Yeah, which is not just negotiation. It's actually the expertise of navigating multiple offers, right?
Protect them during the due diligence period as well.
Due diligence
All the
protection.
things that go with that, the inspection.
That's right, that's right.
And that goes in with protect earnest money.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What else?
But bringing the resources to the due diligence
Yeah.
period, right? Knowing the inspector,
Yeah.
knowing the
Yeah.
people who can quote, having a time, having our people that can be
Yeah.
there within a day.
A team.
Quote,
A
a
team.
team.
Partnering,
Team.
partnering with the lender too,
Yeah.
again, to represent their interests and make sure that all deadlines are met. That if there is any issue with the financing or the loan itself,
Yeah.
making sure they get the best possible loan.
I love that.
Communication.
Yep, that's right. I always say your team, your allied resources, your group is a direct representation of your reputation. Right? It's an extension of your reputation. So if you refer someone that you're not 100% sure of, if you're not 1,000% sure that they're gonna do a great job because you've tried them before, I always like to say, hey, you know what? I trust them because I tried them out first. They passed my test first. So if they pass my test, which is a pretty high standard, I feel confident referring them to you. Is that fair? And that's how I felt comfortable referring people that were in my team, in my resources pool, to be able to pass it along to somebody else. Matt?
If you've gone like waiverless price, create an appraisal packet for the appraiser so that.
Yes, great.
Including meeting the appraiser at the property and
So
making
many
sure
people
they
don't do that.
understand why
Yeah.
you've listed it the way that you have.
That's right. Love that. Appraisal packet. Anybody else? Anything else come to, Cam, did you have something, or Sandy?
Well, I was thinking about communication, but communication with you as the buyer, as well as the communication with the listing agent, both prior to the offer, or even going in.
Yeah.
So that you know where you stand in a multiple offer situation, you know where you stand in a price, you know what's important to the seller. So that, you know, don't just send an offer off in
Yeah.
the vapor.
Understanding what's important and what's not. Can I throw one in that hasn't been said, is urgency? I think it's one of my biggest pet peeves is the lack of urgency that I see in communication. It's not just communication, good communication,
All of
great,
us.
but it's the urgency. I'm baffled at the lack of urgency that I see in the profession. If you are not urgent to the task at hand, forget about it. Right. I mean, that's directly in proportion to professionalism, in my opinion. Right? So that needs to be up there, urgency.
To me, I would add.
Composure.
Composure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that is a great one. You said that.
Same thing. Composure.
You know, bringing in the expectations, but also keeping everyone between the lines.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
keeping everybody composed, because you know, the buyer is gonna freak out at some point.
Yeah.
And that's when your job is to keep them, one, informed with the right expectations, and what's the other word I'm looking for?
Sounds like.
It sounds like, but just making sure they don't blow their lid, right?
Yeah.
And making sure they don't terminate the contract because they're just freaking out.
Managing expectations throughout the process, right?
Yes, we're talking about buyer, this is for buyers, right?
Yes, right now we're working on buyers, yes.
Okay, well, come to understand now the appraisal package. I work with the seller, making sure I'm getting the appraisal inside of possible, but what can I do as a buyer with the appraisal package to make sure it's as low as possible?
Well, I mean, a lot of sellers, they don't attend the appraisal, right? A lot of sellers don't attend the appraisal inspection.
Oh, not, yeah.
You want them to keep the house.
We want,
You want them to keep the house.
we want to protect
You
the
don't want,
transaction.
if the buyer comes and says, I'm willing to pay this amount of money for the house, and the seller comes and says, I accept that offer, and I also think it's worth that amount of money. And the appraiser comes in and says, well, I don't think so. Well, you would look over, the first thing you would do is go back to the seller and say, you know, seller, it came back low, will you reduce? No, I thought it was worth this much, your buyer thought it was worth this much. So we need to either do an appraisal rebuttal or come to an agreement in the middle, but that's your job to facilitate.
You're saying as a buyer representative, you would go to the, meet with the appraiser when he appraises it to make sure he appraises it, not to meet you.
We would meet, but we would definitely provide.
It's more of a sell, you're right,
It's
it's
a
more of
seller.
a seller. No, I'm not gonna disagree with you, it's more of a seller issue than a buyer issue.
But if a buyer has to do a rebuttal, then that would be a buyer's agent responsibility. The listing agent isn't gonna do that, because they're not gonna.
A lot of
Well,
listing
and
agents don't do this, so we have to do it.
That's what I was saying. A lot of sellers agents don't do it. So if the seller agent is not gonna attend, then I would absolutely volunteer to go during the appraisal visit. Absolutely.
I was gonna say, I've had multiple conversations with the listing agent just to make sure we're on the same page, because we all want it to appraise, right? We would love for it to appraise above, if possible, right? You know, that would be awesome, but as a buyer's agent, many times the listing agent and I have powwowed ahead of time of the comps, you know, oh, remind them that you got multiple offers, remind them that you know, because the listing agent can absolutely say all those things to the appraiser.
Yeah, yeah. It's playing nice in the sandbox with everybody to make sure you get to the end that you all want to
I
get to.
think all of this can be summed up in, when people ask me, what does a real estate agent do? I say 99% of the time, we do whatever it takes to keep the deal on the table.
Yes, and I love
All
that.
of it.
However, when you're sitting with a client and you're getting the buyer agreement, wouldn't it be great to be able to say, and by the way, this is what I'm gonna do for you, right? And then we're gonna throw up the promise. But when we can articulate yes, we're gonna do whatever it takes. That's great, and we know that we're gonna hustle to do whatever it takes. However, if we can articulate all the things that are necessary to be able to get there, doesn't that actually elevate now our value? Like, wait, you're gonna do that, and you're gonna do that too? Wait, are you a great negotiator? Wait, tell me more about that, right? They now suddenly see a little bit more value in the process versus just getting you to the contract or to the closing, right? It's being able to articulate all the things that are necessary to get you the house that they want, to get them the house that they want to fight for, because they get emotionally entangled. Once they fall in love with the house, it's an emotional entanglement. So we need to keep our emotions what? Between the lines, between the lines. And it's so easy to get caught up in the haggle between the other agent and da-da-da-da, and doing this and doing that, and making sure that we keep everyone on the same path, and keeping our emotions between the lines. So, this I love. So we're gonna talk about what that promise looks like and building that. This is an example of someone's promise. And so once we see this, and we can send this to everybody, then you can incorporate your value, right, into this promise.
Can you read that?
No.
No,
I'm just kidding, it's very small, but what it is the KW playbook.
it's in the playbook.
Everybody has access to it, and I'll email it out.
Yeah, perfect. So let's read this. I'll read this. and you can see it. So, okay, let's talk about our promise. What happens is when you're at the buyer appointment, what would that look like for you differently to be able to provide value when you're meeting with clients? And Matt, for you, when you're talking to buyers right away, right? When you're meeting with them, how different would that look for your buyers and your sellers, right? But also your buyers when you're actually needing to fight for that commission that you need to fight for, right? And you say, you know what, let's talk about what our promise looks like to you. This is our promise to you and how we're gonna show up. Our group has this promise, this goal to create an experience that you honestly cannot imagine being any better. What is that? That's an assumptive close, right? That's already an assumptive close. All of our systems and everything we do are designed around delivering this promise to you. Everyone in our group is spoken. If you don't have a group, just everyone, all of us, whatever, all our team is focused on understanding what it is you want and what it is you need. Does that make somebody feel special and heard that you're gonna work with? Absolutely. We make every effort to be out in front of everything, to stop the surprises. Does that address some of these? And keep it as good as it can be. Now, there will be changes. We know there will be. It's real estate and it's people. Just know that to a person, our group is always focused on creating that 10+ experience, if you will. At this point, you can interject the promises that you want to include. And this is what we promise to do for you. This is where we are strong at. You know, we promise to fight for your earnest money, to protect your earnest money along the way. We promise to negotiate fully all the way through for your best interest at hand. We promise to navigate if there are any multiple offers at hand, because that's what we do best. We promise to keep an eye on the due diligence period so you don't miss anything, so therefore we protect your earnest money. Right? What if you included all of this in your promise and made it a more solid, viable document for them to feel like, oh my goodness. And then you go, and that's our promise. And in return, and you say, okay, that sounds great. And in return, there's something that I want. And they're like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. What is it? But then you twist it. You go, you know what? Just to say, another goal we have is sometime from right now until the day we close on your home, that you will feel so great about what we are doing for you, that you will call me, text me, email me with the name of somebody that needs help in real estate. Right? They might need to sell a home or buy a home, or they might need to refinance, or they may have general questions. They just need help with real estate. Do you think you could do that? After you just laid out everything you're gonna do for them? Do you think they're gonna say no? No, they're gonna be like, yeah, absolutely, I will. And then you teach them how to refer you clients. So what does this do? Number one, it proves your value. Number two, it helps you get more business right then and there. It teaches them how to give you business in return. Right? And throughout the process, you're gonna say, and I'm here, and actually they sign it, right? And then you just give them the buyer's agreement to sign. Do you think they're gonna have a hard time signing it after you just gave them this? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's gonna be a whole lot easier for you to gain commitment once you promise to do all of this. Right? So this is a document you can incorporate, you can change it, make it your own. That's what we did. We took the framework of a promise and made it more us, right? This is what we like, this is the part that we love. This is the part, we can tweak this one a little bit, and we actually put it on our websites, we put, you know, all the things. This can be your mantra. And then you have to live by it. What does that do? It also calls you to a higher standard. If this is what you're saying and putting out there and being top of mind, then now you've got to step it up. Now, this is your standard to be able to do. And then throughout the process, you're gonna say, hey, Liz, you know what? Do you remember when we signed that, when I told you my promise? Have you thought of anybody that I could help with their real estate needs? And they're gonna go, oh, what? No, because you're gonna ask them along the way in that closing, oh my God, you were so excited, you finally closed on your house. Now, have you thought again of anybody else that we can help them enjoy such a great experience like we just helped you with? You're teaching them how to think about real estate and how to help you have the best experience as well. By creating more clients, right? By getting more business from one transaction. People are getting 3 referrals from each transaction. How many referrals on average are we getting from each transaction?
2.
So this could be a great game changer for us in so many ways. Our value proposition, increased business, and solidifying who you are as an agent in this industry. Okay, so we're gonna send this out. If you guys need help working on it, absolutely let one of us know. We will 100% sit down and work it through, but I think this is what we all need to do right now. This is absolutely something we need to look at, especially in this industry and this time. Any questions on that?
Any comments that the promise is now your standard?
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, we all want to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
And once you deliver it, now it becomes your speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hold you to a different level, a different station. All right, no questions? When I look at the clock, then it's exactly 10, oh my God, I can't even believe that.
Oh, this is.
Okay, okay. So how many of you saw this on Super Bowl? So you saw this picture?
Yes.
Okay.
Some video.
Yeah. So this is why I included this. Because it caught my attention. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I saw this. I'm so sorry, I didn't. But I saw this. And this is, and we're talking about standards, we're talking about your value, we're talking about all of that, right? This is someone who's very, looked up to, an icon in the industry. Taylor Swift's boyfriend, right? Everybody wants to meet her, everybody wants to meet him now because he's, it's like, come on. And they caught this one picture of him screaming at his coach. Almost knocked him over. The person that is being looked up to was screaming at his coach. And I literally stopped and I went, what message does that send to all the people that are watching him? They're saying, it's okay to do that. It's okay to be disrespectful, to scream, to have tantrums. To yell to anybody that's in authority, it's okay, because he did it, and I really look up to him. He's a Swiftie, or whatever, I don't know. I'm clearly not, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, this is, to me, embarrassing on how he showed up in that moment right? I'm not trying to cast shame on anything other than that behavior. How are we showing up to where other people are catching that picture of us? What picture are we sending in someone's mind's eye that might not be so great, that might not be a role model to others? Right? Everybody has somebody that's watching, right? We're all being watched. And what message are we delivering to those that are watching us in that moment?
I think the irony of this photo specifically is that the C with 4 stars on his jersey represents that he's the captain of the team.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
That's scary.
That is. That's even more, right?
What example?
What
are
example?
you-
What are you showing?
Like I learned pretty early in real estate that I get emotionally involved with my clients, you know. I had to learn this is a business. You cannot get emotionally involved yourself because then you can't control things. So when you have a buyer, you have a seller, it's a business. So try not to get involved when they get crazy or something. Just do your job.
And that's the lesson, if you look at that photo
That's right.
again,
That's
and
right.
look at the coach.
That's what I see.
The coach I saw, his face,
He
he's
didn't
like,
do anything.
he didn't do
He
anything.
could have turned around and reacted,
That's right.
which is what Ruth is talking about. When our buyers and sellers get emotional, he kept going.
They're both examples of what to do and what not to do, right? So in our business, let's remember that when we're trying to keep our emotions between the lines, when we're so, caught up in the stress, and trust me, I know what it's like to have a stressful day. I mean, I'm telling you. And I want to shoo that person out so badly it hurts. And yet, what do we do in that decision? What do we do in that choice? That minute, we have a choice. I think I wrote that this week, right? Did I write that this week in my email? We have a choice. What choice will we make that's going to determine how we show up to others? Anyway,
Are you gonna be the coach?
are you gonna be
Or
the
are you gonna be
tantrum?
the tantrum?
The tantrum.
All right, awesome. Well, I get to do the fun stuff. So let's talk about all the fun events that are coming up. Obviously, family reunion is just around the corner. Everybody, if you haven't RSVP'd for the 3 events that we have going on, please do that immediately. Does anybody have questions about these events? I think we've gone over them quite a few times. Ignite's wrapping up this week and the last of Run Your Business Like a Business. So again, I'll say it for the 4th week in a row. If your hiney is in a seat right now, it should be in the same seat on Thursday at 9:30 for Run Your Business Like a Business. I know it's been super impactful for everyone who's been here for that. So, wrap it up this Thursday.
And it doesn't matter if you have not attended one.
Right, you're gonna get something out of each one of them. So Emily and Amy talked about leads through divorce and death coming up on the 21st tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then also Kaylin talked about her social media class that's gonna be Thursday, February 29th at 1:30. So that's next Thursday at 1:30. And then Renee talked about happy hour is back. And then birthday lunch also in March, on March 8th at 12 p.m. These are a little out of order, just based on excitement level for. And then we have our own Millionaire Real Estate Book Club. On the newsletter, I've been including the book club for Jay Passon and Gary Keller and several leaders are conducting that book club. But we actually have our own MREA book club that's starting up. And so I just want to make sure everybody is aware of it. There is a QR code to sign up to join the MREA book club. We quiz you every week or every other week on the MREA. It's a great foundational piece to every single successful business that I know of in Keller Williams, so I think it's pretty good to talk about it each week. It's gonna be 7 weekly virtual sessions starting on March 7th. So from 2 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I'll be there, I hope you are too. And then we've talked a lot about 36 Touch program, and Leslie and Andy have the very best one. They were the ones that taught me years ago on the 36 Touch. My class is just a version of theirs, and they are the masters. So that one's coming soon to our Roswell location, Tuesday, March 12th, from 1 to 4 p.m.
Y'all, who likes Cody Gibson? Who knows who Cody Gibson is? Y'all.
It's coming back. Bold is coming back.
This is probably gonna sell out because of Cody Gibson. He's pretty dynamic and he's pretty incredible. If you guys have ever wanted to be in Bold, this is the one. This is the one. It's gonna change your life, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna invite you for which day to go. So it's Alpharetta hosting this one, so Bold is coming very soon. It'll be on Wednesday this time, and it starts on April 3rd. So just put that in your pipeline, put that in your calendar, it's a coming soon. Yeah. All right, let me get this shared. No, I have to do my thing real quick. So everybody at home can also. There we go. Okay, share.
I had some tantrums of saying, I can't do this is too hard. When I was a kid and comparing myself to everyone else and saying, I can't do it, I'll never be able to do that. My parents always sat me down and said, look, Nick, yes, there are things that you can't do, but don't say, I can't do it. Ask yourself, how can I do it? You know, there's ways around it. You can get from one side of the mountain to another, but you don't just have to walk over it. Maybe you can go underneath it or around it, or there's always ways in achieving the same goal. The way that I've achieved in my life doesn't always look the same for everyone else. But the key to that success was I believed in myself. If someone else could do something, then I could try and work out how. It starts with believing in yourself.
That's from a man that has no arms, no legs, now has a family and he has children, and he's an incredible motivational speaker. So it kind of takes the excuses away today, right? We think that we can't do something or we don't want to. Maybe we should look at somebody like that. So anyway, have an amazing day.
Let me tell you. You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Put a little gold in the teeth and the fit good, so I took the doors out the deep, okay. I see a brother holding your seat, no beef, but I'm trying to get the noise you release. Don't take my talking to your own. I can keep it chill like a Soviet blonde. I'ma keep it real when your man long gone. If you're looking for a friend and you got the wrong song, baby girl, what's good? What's with ya? If you book tonight, that's fiction. I'm outside, no pictures. You want me? Go figure. To the back, to the front. You a 10, baby girl, but I'm the one. Hey, to the back, to the front. You a 10, baby girl, but I'm the one. You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Hey, girl, you got me. a hoot, what you do, say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know.
Well, let's see, we're still.
And you can.
Talking away, I don't know what to say, I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me. I'll be gone. So needless to say, I'm all sentence, but I've been stolen away. Slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry. Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me. I'll be gone. Things that you say, yeah, is it delightful? Just to play my worries away. You're all the things I've got to remember. You're shying away. I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me. I'll be
I thought they had